Bizarre Brain Comics. Ooh. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. So, this time, we're going to take a little look at something from a long time ago, far, far away. Not that one. This is Normalman number 3 from 1984 from Aardvark-Vaneheim. I said 1983, I meant 1984. This is written and drawn by Jim Valentino with colors and letters by Diane Valentino, I presume is his wife. And in the editorial it mentioned that the color separations were done by the great Murphy Anderson. So like, Murphy Anderson doing the color separations, that's bizarre and fantastic, because he is such a great artist in his penciler and inker in his own right. So, Normalman is an American comic book limited series created by Jim Valentino. It started as a 4-page backup story in Cerebus number 56 in 1983, before being launched as a full-color 12-issue series published by Aardvark-Vaneheim. Then being completed at Renegade Press. And I think, as I understand, there was a split at Aardvark, and the offshoot created Renegade Press and took Valentino's property with him. And it was a superhero mainstream comic book parody, poking fun at various comic publishers and their characters. And in the story, the planet Arnold was believed to be going to explode, which eventually did not happen. But the infant Norm-L was sent to planet Levram, which is Marvel spelled backwards. And Levram is populated by superheroes and other daring doers of that sort. And he was the only normal man. And he arrived there. He grew up inside the spaceship, inside the rocket that took him there. And he spent his life trying to return to the planet Arnold. I have to laugh at that. I wonder, I got it. I wonder if the planet Arnold was based on Arnold Schwarzenegger. my notes fell down. Okay, Valentino. Jim Valentino was born in 1952. He's an American comic book writer and artist. Became well known at Marvel for his work on Guardians of the Galaxy from 1990 to 1992. And as a co-founder of Image Comics, where he created the title Shadowhawk and the semi-autobiographical Touch of Silver. He started working in the late 70s doing autobiographical comics in the small press. And then graduated to this, which is definitely not autobiographical in any sense. But it is a lot of fun. There have been a few reprint volumes encompassing the entire thing. I have one. I'm not sure if it was the entire thing or just half of it. And it was reprinted. That was from the mid 80s. And I think I still have it, but I have not seen it in years, so it's possible that I no longer have it. Because I'd like to. This makes me want to reread the whole thing. So let's take a look inside the pages of Normalman number 3. Okay, here it is. And we can really see this is, of course, this is Normalman. And it was a parody of, and also done in homage to so many of the mainstays, the big stuff from comic books. And you see a lot of little nods even in here, so all through the run, to Will Eisner and the Spirit, and even have one cover that is a direct inspiration of a Will Eisner cover. And here, this is, of course, paying homage to EC Comics, and especially their horror line. As you can see, the way the thing is laid out, the cover is laid out. The head's over here to the right, even has on the side "by" instead of horror, and then the whole title is Aardvark-Vaneheim presents two-fisted suspense stories from the haunt at the vault in the crypt of Normalman. And have a list of some of our characters. Of course, Normalman himself, Sophisticated Lady, and Captain Everything, who's basically Superman. Jocular tales of humor in the AV tradition, because there's AV, just like the EC emblem. And of course, those are some of the characters here in this story. So we'll try to. Ooh. And Jim Valentino, I think this was a very creative concept and story. And he did. I think he did a very fine job with the cartoonishness of his characters. Very satirical of the stuff. And here we have, even again, the way the first page is laid out is like the horror comics. And this is the crypt of Normalman, and is the introduction, and the whole thing is being told from the perspective by, instead of Marvel's Watcher, it's the watchdog. and he's a bulldog. Telling that this is the Pope of Pain, our villain of the piece. And gives us a brief backstory. How Normalman had been snatched by a rotten kid, and got the and he was in the clutches of the ultra conservative, and he's been saved time and again by Captain Everything and Sergeant Fluffy. And of course, Sergeant Fluffy is like Sergeant Fury, and he's got an eye patch on, and he is the head of Schmuck, I think, which is so it's a combination of Sergeant Fury and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Even has the eye patch, and the eye patch keeps switching on which side, which eye it covers. Has a big battle scene, and now after he gets away, he's down into the depths, of the dungeon, the depths of the castle where he was imprisoned. The ultra-conservative has fallen out a window, apparently to his death. We'll come back to that. Now, this is where he meets the Pope of Pain, who is like the Pope of Pain, but he talks like a southern minister, a southern pastor, and he's backed up by his ne'er-do-wells. There's Sophisticated Lady. I don't know his name, but he's the Rastafarian. Got a little old lady, but we'll find out her name. I forgot her name. It tells it later, and he's snatched by him. It says that by being a normal mortal man, he is an affront to all things that are holy, and he's going to go throw him into the pit of the unclean. And we see the zombie-like hands coming out of the ooze from the pit. This is when the old maid and the Trendoid, that was her name, the Trendoid, they take off because they have to go counter Captain Everything, etc. And of course, it's the watchdog who is telling everything. And I'm not even going to talk about that running gag up in the corner. This is when he first meets Sophisticated Lady, and she turns out to be a close friend and all through the run of Normalman. Here is the guy. Relax, man. I got the power that'll relax you, man. Ganja breath. Then it's interrupted by the stamp for the comics code, and it gripes about everything. And he's Normalman is now stoned by the ganja breath, and then they come out and say, "No, you have no power here because this is not a code book." So the comics code walks away, and the Pope of Pain falls into the pit of the unclean. Now he's just got the Sophisticated Lady. And here we see a nod to, she is very clearly based on one of the femmes fatale, or many of the femmes fatale, from the Spirit. Even has a little spirit thing right there. And the Spirit, and Will Eisner's spirit pops up all through this run. And she kisses him, and she wants to help him. Then the next one is Tales Calculated to Make You Normal, Man. And this is Captain Fluffy, and Sergeant Fluffy and Captain Everything. And the ultra-conservative has somehow not gone splat when he fell out. And of course, Captain Everything is posing, but then they're attacked by the old maid and the Trendoid, and then the old maid makes everything old. The captain saves Captain Fluffy, gets zapped, but he suddenly turns old and decrepit. And then Fluffy is zapped by the Trendoid, and he goes through a transformation for all kinds of trendy things before he maintains himself. Well, then the Captain Everything, so while he's struggling very melodramatically, he gives every effort, and he is back to normal. Boom! Meanwhile, we get a little snippet that the ultra-conservative, he's okay, and someone else is coming. This is threads for a later story we don't need to worry about. Then the old maid who rides not a surfboard, but an ironing board, and goes head to head. She's separated from the board. Captain Fluffy gets the board, and Trendoid gets Fluffy's pants, and zap, she's taken out. They're all taken out. Then let's go get Norm. Then his science is weird, and this is very much an homage to Wally Wood's science fiction stuff. Even again the page layout. She's going to help him, takes him through here while they talk, and she's very attracted to him, and he obviously is very attracted to her. And it's all dialogue until they get to this, which is a portal to another realm. It may take you home, it may take you somewhere else. I don't know. Said, I'm sorry, I don't want to leave, but I have to. And she's like, oh, goodbye, I'll miss you, Normalman. And there's a nice transition here as he goes through. It's not unlike the Stargate from the Stargate movie and TV series. Just as Captain Everything and Fluffy get there just in time to not stop Normalman, and he goes back. Oh, I wanted to mention, notice that he looks like a Normalman. Actually, looks like a blonde Jimmy Olsen. So the hair is falling. This is kind of Steranko-ish. And falling through reality until it comes plop, hits the ground. Something assaults his nostrils, and then we see, Next issue, Crisis on Earth Twinkie says, "Stay where you are, large one. Thus speaks the Smilfs." Oh, no, not again. Yes, he has been transported to some location where he is. That is a parody of a combination of ElfQuest and the Smurfs. And then here's what we're looking forward to for the next issue. Oh, and that is a lot of fun. And I would, if I still have that book, I'd love to find it and reread it. If not, if I can find an inexpensive other copy somewhere, I'll snatch it. Because it's been years since I've read Normalman, and I enjoyed this to no end. Poking fun at all the comic book stuff out there in history and at the time. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Have you read Normalman? Are you even aware of Normalman? And if so, what do you think of Normalman and Jim Valentino, etc.? So let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.